Alright guys, I'm live here. Really know what I'm doing? I'm just doing a little test here. But if you want to hang with me, I will see if I can catch something. I am just here in good old Cedar City on one of my favorite ponds. Well, actually the only pond here in Cedar. What's up, Arizona Unplugged? Do not have an ideal tripod, so I'm not seeing the comments very quick, but how are you, man? So far the fishing is slow. It's beautiful though. I just ordered a new bait caster from Bass Pro. I was going to show you what I'm fishing with here. Then I got excited and cast. All right, I am fishing with, it is a jackhammer with a little swim bait trailer, kind of a green pumpkin thing. It's actually done really good for me in this pond. I'm a little earlier tonight than what I usually do, but you do need to get back on it, man. You know, I didn't fish for probably, like, I love fishing. I mean, I grew up fishing, a lot of trout fishing, but finally after like 10, 15 years of working my butt off, raising kids, I picked fishing back up, and dude, I fish every chance I get now. Are you down Arizona? Are you down in Phoenix area? There are some big freaking bass in here. If you go to my Instagram, I've got a bunch of pictures from this pond of some really nice largemouth, which is strange because Utah's not exactly known for bass fishing other than Lake Powell and like Sand Hollow, but it's usually mostly fly fishing. Northern Arizona, homestead off the grid, currently in San Diego, almost ready to move. Dude, you should go grab a rod and get some salt action going, man. Or I guess I'm assuming you're a man, you could be a woman. I was just looking today at some collapsible rods that I can start taking with me. I do some traveling for work, and next year I'm going to be in Texas a couple times, and Pennsylvania and a few places. So I'm like, man, I gotta find a rod I can put in my backpack or my carry-on. I don't know Northern Arizona very good. Is that like Northern Arizona is in closer to like Lake Powell, or like closer to like Las Vegas? Like, where do you fish in Northern Arizona? Down the bank here a little bit. Pure blood masculine dude. All right, cool. We'll do dude talk then. I won't flower things up for you. So I'm curious, you probably started following this channel when I was posting more homestead videos, which is cool. I used to, we've got 10 acres here in Utah, which is not huge, but it's a good place. But I kind of ran out of things to post about, because I'm like, yeah, how exciting is it to feed animals every day? But man, a lot of people do it with homesteading channels and are super successful. But I'm like, man, I go fishing all the time. I should turn this into a fishing channel. So I don't know. But even with that said, I don't post that often, so. Come down by this sign. I usually do pretty good down by this sign. I got a Ned rig on this other rod. It's super slimy on the bottom, so it's fishing off the bottom, and anything finesse is kind of ridiculous. Doesn't really work, but all right, let me get resituated here. Near Grand Canyon. Okay. Yeah, man, I get it on not fishing, dude. Like, it wasn't so much for me like building property, but it just was, man, just being a dad and first kind of working for somebody, but then starting my own business, and man, I just could not fit in. I could not fit in fishing. That said, man, looking back, I wish I would have fished more, because I just like, and you know, I'd like to think I'm a really good dad and a good husband and all that stuff, but you gotta have time for yourself too. And you know what, if building your property is your thing, then rock and roll, dude. You're there. How big's your property there? All right. Let's see if there's anything in here. I've got this GoPro that I've been trying to figure out how to do live stream challenges, and there's just not a lot of lakes around here that I get a good cell signal. So you see these guys in Texas and Midwest and stuff that fish and they live stream everything, and it's like, man, they got good freaking connection. Because I can barely get a phone call most places I fish. All right, we got a couple other people in here. If you're here, man, feel free to comment. Join the conversation. Just trying out this live thing. There's actually not a ton of live that I've found live fishing on YouTube. There's a bunch on TikTok and Instagram, and I was actually gonna go live on TikTok. I'm way too old for TikTok, but I was gonna go live on TikTok, but they make you jump through like 50 hoops. So, anyways. All right. Throw this Ned rig out and just let it soak, I think, while I'm throwing this jackhammer out. Let's see if anything will pick that up. There's actually a bunch of catfish in here, so I could actually have a catfish take it. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it, fish around it. Yeah, dude. Cracked cores and eating chips. That sounds like a pretty good Friday night. Question is, probably do that while you're fishing too, you know? I know there's bass in here, but Arizona Unplugs, your side channel, backcountry prep. So do you do like so just like product reviews, or like what kind of stuff do you do on there, on your main channel? Keep getting this freaking thing snagged up. There we go. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I'm not like super big into prepping, but man, there's a lot of those channels, especially when I'm buying like a knife or like a new tent or something. Like I watch a lot of those prepping channels. Yeah, business owner, have 6 kids. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a business owner, I only have 3 kids, and I still didn't fish for 15 years. So I don't blame you, man. Plus building a property. Yeah, that's a lot of freaking work. But you know what though, man? It's all worth it. It's all worth it. "48 acres. Whew, man. 48. So what do you do on those 48 acres? I'll have to check your channel out, but do you do like cattle, or I guess like some other kind of livestock, or? And the bite is slow. I don't seem to get anything to go. I was here the other day and I did pretty good, but I think it was because there was a storm front coming in. Man, it's getting freaking skunked here. Alright, well, maybe I'll work this Ned rig a little bit. If there's anything that wants to bite that. Oh yeah, fried catfish, dude. I'm all about that. I haven't really done a lot of catfishing. We've got some good catfish in Utah, and I have, like when I was in Boy Scouts when I was a kid, we had one activity where we did like an all-night catfishing thing, and then that next day we went to the leader's house and he deep fried everything. But I haven't, honestly, I don't know that I've ever had catfish since then. Is there catfishing out where you're at? I mean, freaking catfish are everywhere, but we've got a place here that serves fried catfish. I've never had it though. Still getting used to this. People looking at me like, "Why are you freaking crazy? Who are you talking to?" It's funny, like, people walked up behind me and they were throwing rocks in the water, and I always wonder, like, do they not realize I'm fishing right here? Throw rocks right in the water right next to me. It's like, I guess maybe they're just clueless about what throwing rocks. At least my dad taught me. You throw a rock in the water and you're fishing, you're gonna go swimming. Mostly current events, political stuff, bagging on liberals. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not smart enough to talk about anything political, so I just stick to fishing. I like to think I know a little bit about fishing, but these kind of days, I'm not quite sure. Maybe I don't. I'll have to check out your channels when we're done here. And there's just nothing biting today. So I'm curious, man, if you're still on. Did something pop up when I went live, or how did you find this? Did you get like some kind of notification? I'm trying to figure out the live thing. I think we're gonna change this Ned rig. It is not producing nothing. I think I'm getting your comments fairly delayed, but you're just seeing that you don't have any livestock yet, just getting the infrastructure done. Yeah, the one we bought, so it's 10 acres, but it was, the house is like from the 70s, and all the fencing and the barn was already here and that kind of stuff, which was kind of what we were looking for, because right when we bought it, I was like knee deep into starting my business, and I just knew I just wasn't gonna be able to do much with it. Challenging thing is all my kids were kind of at like just entering high school when we did, and now, like however many years, 7-8 years later, now my two kids are in college. One's getting married in 2 weeks. And then my boy, youngest, is a sophomore, in high school, and it's like, now we're like, huh, do you really want all this property? I gotta take care of. My middle daughter was into horses at the time, and so, you know, we had horses and the whole thing when we started, and anyways, now I don't know what we're gonna do. But I tell you what, man, like, I'm not a like living in a neighborhood kind of a person. I gotta have the space. So even though I've got 10 acres and it's like 9.5 acres of weeds, it's still better than having a neighbor. I'll take it any day of the week, because I just can't handle the neighbor thing. But 48 acres, man, that's pretty sweet. Like, even if you ever did any livestock or nothing, that's pretty cool. I'm assuming you've got a family. Is your family into it like you are? Like, are they enjoying it, or they feeling like they're in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, just watching the fish makes me relax. Yeah, it's funny, I was going to Vegas yesterday to pick up my wife from the airport, and I was stuck in traffic for like 2 hours. And man, there's like few things I hate worse in life than traffic. And maybe I shouldn't admit this on the internet, but I'm sitting there, and like, so I turned on TikTok, because they always have all the live fishing, and I sat there and watched somebody fish for that 2 hours, and it was like, it was so much better than just being pissed off in traffic, which I would have done. So I'm with you. Like, my wife looks at me like I'm crazy, but I could sit and watch somebody fish. Like, those are the YouTube channels that I watch, or the people that just fish. And she's like, isn't that boring? And I'm like, no. I could watch this for hours. Especially if I haven't had a chance to fish for a while. Yeah, catfish everywhere. Just found out around my property that a couple lakes that are fishable, once I get settled, definitely gonna head out and start slinging the line. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, it's again, going back, I was in an area that had just tons of ponds, tons of lakes around me, and I just never made it a priority. But I think Daddy's got to work, you know what I mean? And so it's like, between work and whatever, your needs always become secondary, unfortunately. I heard a funny freaking story about this pond. So it's just like a little city pond. It's like not that big, but I've got a police officer friend that is on like bike patrol, and he goes around this lake and just kind of checks things out. And I was here fishing the other day, and he come by and stop and talk for a minute, and he told me the story about the he was going like super early in the morning, and he could see like something bubbling up in the middle of the lake. He couldn't figure out what the heck it was, and he sits there and watches it, and all of a sudden this dude emerges like a sea monster out of the middle of the lake, no shirt, just overalls on, comes out with this giant catfish in his hand. And he's like, what the heck? And so the dude sees him, and sees him, the cop, and he's like, oh, am I in trouble? And the cop's like, well, no, but what are you doing? Anyways, so it turns out it was this dude from like Mississippi or something, and came out here for a job, and that didn't pan out, and so was kind of homeless, And, you know, where he's from, they do noodling. So they go down and I guess they do it with their fingers or whatever. And he was hungry, so he just went and got a freaking fish. Anyways, it's pretty funny. Yeah, no rock throwing where you're fishing. Yeah, it's funny, like, you know that Chevy commercial where I think he's got like a cat or something, and the cat does all these amazing things. And the very last scene, there's a dude, they pull up to this mountain lake, and there's this dude fishing, and the guy gets out of the truck with his cat, and he's playing fetch with his cat, and he throws the stick in the water, and the cat goes and gets it, bring it back, and of course the fisherman's all amazed. And the first thing that ever goes through my head is not, oh, I need to go buy a Chevy truck. The first thing that goes through my head is, you're freaking throwing a stick right next to a guy that's fishing? Jerk. Yeah, people don't, I mean, and you know, people don't know. So, you just gotta be patient with them. Just gotta love them, I guess. You subscribed and you got the bell clicked, and that's how you got the message. Okay. I guess that's why people always say make sure you hit the bell when you subscribe. I wonder